Hello everyone. I've been trying to do lives lately. I am not technically inclined. I really stink when it comes to technology, so I'm having a hard time. My live keeps failing, so I don't know if it's Facebook or if it's on my end. We've checked everything on my end and it just does not seem like it's a problem with my end. So I wanted to do the video anyway, so we're gonna do it. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. I'm going to be using Seint makeup. This is fantastic makeup. I cannot say enough about this makeup. You have it all in one easy peasy little compact. You can build it to you and your likings. It's not like when you go to the store and you buy a compact, you might like a couple of the colors or a couple of the items and then everything else is like wasted. This is completely your desire, what you like. All of the makeup, the highlights, the contour, what we would consider the main base, all of it is foundation, so the coverage is 100% on whatever you do. You do one layer versus doing multiple layers upon layers upon layers. So it just breathes better, it sets better, it feels better, and it looks great. In fact, this makeup is probably some of my most favorite makeup of all time. I have been using it for about a year. Actually, Christmas would mark my year anniversary of using this makeup, and it is amazing. My skin has become more accustomed to it, so I don't have to use as much powder. I am very oily, but this makeup, your skin will acclimate to it, and it wears like a dream. It is, you know, you have so many techniques out there how to use it, so it is kind of custom to what you like and how you like it. So let's get started. I first would like to say that I am very fair, and so matching me, I end up at the lightest colors there are, and I like to use the lightest color here for my highlights, so I do step back to a darker color, which in some of my photos you can tell that my neck isn't matching. Okay, I shouldn't do that. I really shouldn't. I should stay true to my colors, but okay, I like the three-dimensional look, so I do that. And I'll do that today. I use White Peach, Moonlit, and then on my contour colors, I like to get two different colors and blend them together. I like Ash and, let me find out what this one is, and Shadow. This one's Shadow, and this is Ash, and I like to blend the two. One is, to me, has a little bit more green undertone, and the other one has a little bit more red. So I kind of have both, so I like to blend them just because I can and I want to. So also, if you buy this makeup and use it, these little handy dandy this is how your tin comes. Unless if you drop it on the floor. This is how your tin comes. It will come just like this. Ta-da! And so when you take it out and you put it in there, this is magnetic, so you just slide it in where you want it and you put it in your compact. When you try to get it out, you use this tip. Ain't that smart? So you don't have to dig your fingernail, because I cannot tell you how many times I've dug my fingernail into it until I learned that that's what this is for. And so it can get in there where your fingernails can't. Okay, so let's get started. Let me pick my mess up from the floor. Excuse me. Okay, I'm back. And we'll get started. So Seint has a ton of brushes. These aren't even all of them, but these are the ones that I like. And each brush is dual-ended, which means you get 2 brushes in one. Okay, these are probably my 4 that I use every single day, because I like them for different reasons to do different things. And these will be the ones that I'll demonstrate today. I believe this is the 30-second hack. And this is the one that I will begin with. And I'm going to use it on my contour. I start with my contour. So like I said, okay, so I'm going to pick up a little bit there and a little bit there, and I'm just going to start. And I'm going to go back in, and I'm not picking up a ton. You don't need a ton. So what I like to do is draw that shadow line, and then kind of come upward in a triangle. Kind of feather it lighter to go up in that triangle. Now, we will be blending all of this out. We're not at first. So you might be going, whoa, this does not look like for me. But wait till the blending action. That's where the magic works. So I'm going to pick up a little bit more. I need to quit showing myself. That kind of a little creepy. And I guess I decided to wear black today to see how much powder I could get on me on this black shirt. I don't know what I was thinking, but here we go. So we're going to draw that chiseled chin line that I do not have. It would help for you to see what I'm doing. Hello. Okay, and then we're going to draw the nose. So each tin comes with plenty of makeup. They're each $14, and you get about a 3 to 6 month use out of them. I guess I need to quit reflecting on myself. So I'm just dipping back in to that contour color, putting a little under the lip. So when you have that shadow, it makes this lower lip look more full. So good tip to know. Now I'm going to get to the buff brush. And Seint rebranded. They were Mascara Beauty, so you may know them as Mascara Beauty, but they rebranded. And their brushes are a rose gold with white tip or white bristles. So it's kind of it looks more elegant, to be honest, you know, but they look the same. This is the buff brush. And so I'm going to dip into the white peach right here. And this is what I consider my main base. All of their colors are called highlights or contours. So even though we know this section here is considered a highlight, they call everything a highlight. So I'm going to call it a main color or a main base, and then my highlight colors, just to help keep it set, differentiated. Okay, so I'm just patting. I'm just going to pat that makeup on. What I'm trying to do, the buff brush is great for those who want full coverage. I love full coverage. I'm not really one to say, hey, you know, I want makeup where it doesn't really look like I'm wearing makeup. I have always felt the whole point of makeup was to look like you're wearing makeup. But that's my personal desire. If you don't like that, by all means. If you like the light look, the more natural look, this brush is the best. This one right here is less dense. It's soft and fluffy, and it just kind of is so gentle and gives you that real light coverage. And it's such a good blending brush too. It's really a great brush. But back to my buff brush. All right, so I'm just stamping. And this is my personal belief. If you don't share it, by all means, that's great. But I don't like pulling at the skin. So I really try to develop my own techniques or see others, what they do, that does not pull at the skin. So this is why I'm stippling. I'm just patting. I'm just patting it on where what I'm doing does not pull at my skin. Now I'm gonna go back to my contour brush, because there's something that I've been doing that's a little weird. I kind of did this for Halloween and I kind of like the looks, so okay, I just kind of liked it. So I've been kind of pulling it real light, not heavy like I did for Halloween. And I just kind of give myself more of that carved out but little rosy cheeks right there by stretching that. And then when I suck in, I have these natural shadows right here. I just want to define them a little bit. And I don't know why I've been doing this. I just like the look. Who knows? Strange, but I've been doing it. So one neat thing about this makeup, the artist in you comes out. So I'm gonna continue my stippling. I think I've got all that I want of the main color. Now I'm gonna go, wait, let me just make sure I got this part. I get like these red, never been diagnosed spots. I think it's rosacea, but I've never had it diagnosed. Okay, now I'm gonna go into Moonlight right here. And then I'm gonna, once again, press that into the skin. And why I'm not blending as I go is this makeup is cream. Every bit of it is cream. And that may scare a lot of you who are used to liquid. And it did me, to be honest with you. But cream, for one, is just fantastic for mature skin. Not saying I have mature skin. Okay, I do, but whatever. But also, it just helps, instead of soaking into the skin, it sits on top. So if you have any lines, fine lines, anything like that, it helps to not accentuate it. But one thing cream does is, as it sits on your face, it warms up. So the reason that I like to just kind of pound it on at first and let it just sit there is to give it time to do all of that warming up. And then when I blend it, it's just like butter. Okay. I'll just kind of put the rest of it down here, just for the funsies of it. And now I'm going to take my blush and buff brush and just do little circular motions as light as a feather, because like I said, I don't like pulling the skin, and I see a lot of people who pull their skin, and that's great. It's just, me personally, I just feel like that will contribute to some undesired results the older I get. Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not, but that is kind of one reason why I just don't. So I'm just gonna start lightly in circular motions. And as you can see, it's already just looking like it's airbrushed, you know? Now when I get under the eye, I go back to that patting motion. And I'm going to do the contour part last. get it up here on the eyelid. I'm patting, or some people call it oh my goodness. Stippling. That was a hard word for me to say. I don't know why. Some days. Alright, I'm going to go into that contour. And this makeup is designed literally, if you want to do it in 5 minutes, you could. You know, especially if you're one who doesn't like that heavy look. You just want something to make you look awake and refreshed and bright. You can literally do this in like 5 minutes or less. I'm not really one of them people. To me, makeup is therapy. So I enjoy the process. I enjoy like trying different things out and seeing how everything looks, if I did it this way versus that way. And if you notice right here on this line, I am not bringing it down. I'm fluffing it upwards. And really, depending on my mood, we can have this real harsh line, or we can just blend it real soft where it kind of just melts into the rest of the makeup. And I apologize, my little hairs are getting in my way. But I don't know if you can tell. Let me get a little closer. But I am not pulling. I'm barely stroking upward. And I always leave my nose kind of for last. I want it to really warm up and have that ability to just glide on as soft as it can. Now some people, especially if you're in a hurry, you tend to put more pressure and pull. Personally, I don't. I try to just, you know, realize that light strokes, gentle pressure will do the exact same thing that I want. It may take a little bit more time, but it accomplishes the exact same thing. Okay, what do you think? Gorgeous, right? Well, let's get that nose. Don't want to forget it. And with my nose, I will come back over with the buff brush and do the tip again, because I do like that lightness on, and want to make sure that I got my milk mustache. Okay, there we go. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous, and it gives you that youthful shine, and it's just so pretty. Now, one thing, like I was telling you earlier, I love to get this brush and go back under and just kind of use it to blend one more time. Doesn't take long, doesn't have to take long, but just one more time over every little part. And it's real light feathery strokes, nothing major. And do you need all these brushes? No. One brush, any brush you choose, you easily can do whatever, your full face, and do whatever it is that you're wanting to do. Okay, there is that. Like I promised, I'm going to go take the smaller end of that buff brush. This one is more for all over your face. This one gets the highlighted areas. And like I said, I just want to dab that. I might pick up just a little bit more. Bam. I just like to dab it just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Now, one thing that you can do is with this brush or even this brush, you can, I'm going to use this one for right now. You can pick up a little bit of blush. These are called lip and cheeks. You can use them for eyeshadows. You can use them for your blush or your lipstick. I like using them for all three, to be honest. I think I will pick up, y'all have to pardon me, my elbow is like so sore and hurting that it's hard for me to stretch it out. Ooh, what colors do y'all think? I'm thinking this one right here. Let me see. I think this is watermelon, but I could be wrong. Pink grapefruit. Okay, I was real close. It was a fruity color. You do not need that much. Like, tap, tap. Do you see? They are so pigmented. Can you see the difference? I mean, and I'm going to go back in and darken it up a hint, but it's like if you're just wanting a little bit of a kiss on your blush, that's really all you need. And that's probably all I'll put on. I'm going to go back over because I want to do this. I have a look in my mind that I'm going to use some other blush. But there you go. The family's talking. And you can put it on your lips. I'm really not going to put it on our lips. But just to let you see. See what pretty colors that is? Okay. Now let's move on to my next step, not yours. At this point, you could do your brows, you could throw on some eyeshadow, or if you like the natural look, and you could do some mascara, and then you're done. That's it. I mean, I've been talking, so it's taken 20 minutes at this point, but it really doesn't take 20 minutes just because I talk. But, I mean, you could be literally done in 5 to 10 minutes. But I'm not, because I like to play. So I'm going to pick up some, this is not air spun. This is baby powder mixed with Anastasia. And I have changed from putting this all over to literally putting it on my eyelids, down my nose right there. Yes, I'm getting it all over the shirt. I told my mom I really need to get a makeup apron. But I like to put this under my eyelids. I have very oily under eye areas. So I put it there. I bring it down at my smile lines. It helps keep those in check. And I put it there. And then one last place, I stick it right here. Now, I'm going to let that set for about 10 minutes while we do my brows. Wait, let me get back up here and make sure I get that real good. Otherwise, I'll end up with mascara transfer. Because I tend to have those oily lids and will get that all over me. Okay. So we'll probably continue to have a little bit of fallout because that's just me. I normally, when I put my makeup on, I have an old t-shirt on. I don't do this. But for you guys, I wanted to look a little bit better. Okay, so we'll let that set while we do our eyebrows. Now I use Anastasia brow gel or brow pomade, I like to get a paper towel and get it wet real good. Like, not where it's dripping, but where it could be if it had just even a drop more water. So I am using soft brown, and as you can, I don't know if you can tell, I've used quite a bit. Are these nails just not beautiful or what? My sweet sister got me this nail wrap from, I think it's Vanity Table, and if I don't pronounce this right, excuse me, but I think it's from Ohora. They have so many colors, and I'm so excited. This literally took me half a second to put them on. I mean, okay, so I'm exaggerating. It was not half a second. It was probably 30 minutes. But I also was one who used to always do the gel and would do it myself, and that always took about 2 hours. So 30 minutes compared to 2 hours, hey, I'm all about that. Okay, so this is a little brush from Benefit. As you can see, it's really dirty, but I love this little brush because it gives me control. Some people can use big things and do this same thing. I'm not one of them. I use this little bitty guy because I can have control of it. But first, let's brush out the brows. So I sit here and I'll brush out my brows first. Wow. And then I will dip in just a little bit, and I begin underlining. And I have to hold my mouth open or it doesn't work. No, I'm teasing. But I do for some reason, hold my mouth open. And so I'm just gonna outline it. I think, and this is just my personal opinion, and I have thin brows because I overplucked. When I was a teenager, the thing that was in was like the real thin brows. So I overplucked them. Now the thicker brows are out. It was funny when my nieces were introducing me to this new style of brows. I was like, Groucho Marx, people, all of y'all look like Groucho Marx, but they don't. Okay, now I'm used to it and it's very attractive to me. But I think the best brow is those brows that you need to be true to your own brows. Like if I draw a brow up here, it isn't going to work. I really need to try to stick to my own natural line. So I go right above that natural line and then pull it down. So I'm pretty heavy-handed. I mean, not too heavy-handed, but pretty heavy-handed here on the tail. I try to get the tail first. And then as I go in, I don't pick up more product. I just use what was on my brush and I come over. Now I'm going to work on that shape. I'm not too thrilled with it, so we got to get a little bit more shapely. This is what cracks me up. People in the beauty industry, other influencers, will not do their brows on camera. They're like, oh, it's boring. Not to me. I love watching how people do their brows, especially those who do really good job. I want to learn how they do it. So if this is boring to you, I apologize. Speed through it. But it's not boring to me. To me, your brow frames your face, and so it's like such an important element. Now right now I am just using the lightest of touches. Sometimes I will just drag from that line and drag down. Other times it's just brushing through it with my brush, but it's literally the softest of touches. Now, remember that line we drew? I want to go back up and feather from it upwards. I don't want to have a line, you know, where everybody's like, I see your line, you know, so I want to blend it in. So I feather through it. Now, what I have been doing, let me show you, is I've been get out of the way. I've been pinching this and pulling it, but I've not been dipping back into it. So if you see me going back, that's what I'm doing. I'm pinching and pulling. And I like to get the water because for some reason it helps, or the wet paper towel I should say, it just helps with the application. Maybe it's because I use powder, but it helps keep it creamy versus kind of getting stiff on me. Alright, so I'm dipping a little bit more back in because I don't like this. There we go. I didn't like that edge. It just didn't seem to be getting some on it. Okay. I apologize if I turned away and you didn't get to see what I was doing. I was just trying to straighten up that edge. So, once again, I'm going in here and what I'm trying to do is do some hair-like strokes. Hope you can see that. I'm just doing some hair-like strokes so that even though there's like fine hairs there, there's not real like evident that it's thick. So I like to get it to match the rest of it, and that's a technique that I have found that has been successful for me. Okay, now because I have it drawn back and I don't even think I did when I had hairs naturally there. I don't think I ever had those straight up hairs, so I like those, so I'm going to draw some on. And this is where it gets rather challenging to me because I will always do one side better than the other. Always. So here's my little magic eraser. Pick up a little bit of that powder and I just help brush that in. And it helps just vanish. Okay. So we're gonna just make sure our little line is good. Now I'm flicking upwards because like I said, I don't want a harsh line. It does need to blend to a degree. Then I'm gonna turn. So I'm turning it this way. So we're going in this way where I'm using the very tip. That's what I'm going to be using. And I'm just brushing upwards. Now one thing I'll do is I will get a little taller than the rest. Just 'cause I like it. And I try to feather it this way. Now, remember I told you that I'm not picking up more product. I'm pinching it off in my fingers. So I feel like I'm getting product on the paper towel and then reapplying it as I pinch it. Now, whether or not that's true, who knows, but that's what I think. Okay, now let's work on this one. We will come back to this one because I try to match them up. So I just got my base down. So let's go over here. Once again, we're just outlining the bottom. And then we're going to come up here and do the top. This side of my brows always, for some reason, does so much better than the other side. I don't know why. It just does. Okay, there we go. Now I can already tell that I've made this one larger than this one, so we'll have to do some adjustments. And that was strictly because, oops, trying to stay, not being able to see too terribly well in my camera versus my mirror. But that's okay. One thing about it is it's usually fixable. So we're just going to have those big brows today. Okay, pinching off my brush and just kind of lightly applying some color there, not too much. And I'll go back and make my little hair-like strokes. So you can see hair-like strokes. There we go. There we go. Okay, and we're gonna fluff that upward. And then we're twisting. Instead of going like that, we're twisting to go like that. And we start drawing. And I really like, you know, not to make it thick, I like to see skin in between the hairs. To me, it looks a little bit more natural. I like to do some lighter than others. I think I'm exaggerating a lot more than I normally do, just so you can see it. There. And don't worry, this will be, you know, calmed down some. Okay. All right, now it goes to, I have to make sure that one side is, you know, they're supposed to be sisters, not twins, but they do need to look like they're in the same family. So I got a little bit excited on this one, so I want to make sure that this one kind of matches the same. So some people can slap their brows on in, you know, a relatively short time, and I'm not one of them. I personally, it helps to give me time to let my powder set, so I'll take my time with them. I'm not like, oh, I gotta hurry up and rush. No, I don't. Okay, that's starting to look like how I think I want it. I got this one line right here I'm working on. I want to give it a different flair, and it's trying to be cantankerous. There we go. It's being cantankerous. It is not making me happy. Like, what the deal? What the deal, Peel? Come on. Adding a little bit more water to my paper towel. See if that won't help. I really try to get a three-dimensional look here, like, so you have your natural skin, then you have a light stroke, then you have a harsh stroke or a darker stroke, so it kind of gives it more of a natural look. Excuse me. Okay. Okay. I got a tickle in my throat. All right. Now, I think we have wasted enough time to let that sit. I'm pretty pleased with the brows. They're a little bit bigger than I wanted them to be, but that's okay. But what I do is I keep my brow stuff out, because for some reason when I take off my powder and then I start looking at it, and especially if once I start putting on my eyeshadow, I'll be like, wait a minute, one's here and one's here, and then I have to adjust it. So excuse me, that's what we'll do. So I'm going to just take my Morphe and Jaclyn Hill JH06 and just start brushing. Did y'all hear my stomach? Or, well, it wasn't my stomach, it was coming through my throat, whatever. And just start kind of brushing everything off. And then I like to take a more dense bristled brush, which is the JH05, same Morphe and Jaclyn Hill. I could use the Seint brushes for this. They would do a phenomenal job. I just grabbed this, and this is what I got in. Okay. So now we've got my baking done. So I am going to add powder to my eye. No, just kidding. I'm going to add some MAC Studio Fix, because we all know that if you follow me and watch me at all, we all know that I just like it. I don't even know that it really does any more or any less. I just like it. I like the looks of it. So I will start with there's 3 of them, okay? I will start with NW20 in Studio Fix Plus. And I'm going to put that exactly where I would do my main foundation. So that's where I'm going to put it. I'm just going to apply it just like I would that. And I'm using this big old brush. This literally would be a perfect use for the buff side of this brush. I've just been doing this for several years now with this brush, and so creature of habit. So I bring it all the way down to just add some color. And also, if you remember when I sat there and brought some down on my neck, some of the Seint makeup down on my neck, this just kind of sets it. So just kind of, I wish, not that I wish to have dry skin, because, you know, sometimes when it's in the winter and, you know, I'll get some dry patches around here. It's miserable. So it's not like I'm wishing to have dry skin, but I do wish that I didn't have to use powder, but I do. So it is what it is. Now, as y'all can see, this makeup, I could have, I didn't, because I don't care, but you can hide your blemishes. I'm not saying you don't, it won't hide your blemishes. It for really will. It's just that it's not designed to hide your skin. It's designed to take your skin and help it look its best. So even though you may see a freckle shine through, or if you have any moles or any blemishes, you may see them shine through, unless if you purposely cover them up. It still makes you just look flawless. It makes you look so much better, and it just feels good. It makes you feel good. Have any of you ever just felt so blah, and then you'll get up and you'll put the effort in getting ready, and then all of a sudden you feel better? That's, to me, what makeup's all about. It's therapeutic. It does make you feel more put together, you know, more like you're able to face the world. Okay, so now I'm going to use N3 to do those lighter spots like I would have, or like I did with the Seint. So under the eyes, basically in this triangle is where I'm putting it. Y'all hear my bracelets go? That's kind of annoying. So as we finish this up, I will go into the next color and kind of make my shadows a little sharper. Okay, and the whole time I didn't pull, I'm pounding, you know, like little baby, pow, 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 pow. as you hear my sound effects from my bracelet. Now, I do not use a primer. What I do use is, before I start, I will use Urban Decay De-Slick, and I will spray it in this cup lid, in the lid. It's not a cup. I will dip my brush in it, and I will spread it on targeted areas. I don't want it all over my face. As I am getting older, I am starting to respect the whole idea of not drying out the skin. We're keeping as much moisture in the skin as possible. I don't want oil, but I do want moisture. So I do target, you know, where I put that so that it's not, let me kind of brush that out, get the powder out of it. Okay. But I do target so that I'm restricting the oil without restricting the moisture. Okay, now we're going to go in with NW33. All we're doing is just kind of warming up those areas that we've already contoured. I got this brush, it was like 3 brushes, I think. Yes, 3 brushes from a dear friend for Christmas a couple of years ago. So I just love using it. It does a good job at this, at what I'm wanting it to do. Now, as you can see, all we're doing is just kind of deepening what we already had there. Now I'm going to use this JH02 from Morphe and Jaclyn Hill brush just to stick a little bit on my forehead. We all know my forehead needs some help. Y'all, I love my mom. I love my mom to death, and she's so sweet and never would hurt a fly. She told me I had a big forehead at Christmas. I was like, thank you, Mom. I love you too. No, I'm teasing. She did say that, but it didn't hurt my feelings. I know what she was trying to say. It was just funny. Me and my sisters were giving her a really hard time. Like, dang, Mom. But she didn't mean to hurt my feelings. She didn't. Okay, now I'm just using this MAC brush. Y'all, I have a lot of brushes and I just want to utilize them. I'm not trying to not use any particular brush or to overuse brushes. I just, you know, it's like you got it, why not use it? So I'm just trying to deepen up that chiseled chin, or chiseled chin, which I don't have, but kind of give a sense of an illusion that I have that. Okay. And then before we go, we got to do the nose. The nose doesn't want to be neglected, so let's not neglect it. So today is January 1st, 2021. Who else is so excited to never have to look at 2020 again? I just pray that 2021 is not worse. Okay, there we go. Now, the thing that I love is in a few minutes after we do everything, this will soak in a little bit. One thing that my skin does is it absorbs color. I think that's an oily problem that people with very oily faces have. And so the nice thing about it is that for this, you know, it looks like, oh, you need to blend. No, I don't. It will absorb in and then it looks perfect. So I love that about that. Okay, next, I have not used this palette in a long time. Ever since COVID hit and we have to wear the masks at work, I have really just, you know, you don't want to get to the point where you're like in a depression where you're like, what's the use? So I fight that. And I try to put at least this much of a face with mascara on every day. But I don't focus on my eyes like I used to. And I used to do a lot of eye looks every day. And I miss that. I miss caring, you know? Does that make sense? It just seems like with the masks that it just ruins everything. So you're like, you don't want to put in that extra effort, or I don't. So I want to use this palette. This is a beautiful palette. I'm just going to randomly pick colors. I don't know that there is a way. Oh yeah, hey, look at that. It does say it on the back. So I'll try to tell you what I'm using, but these are all from ColourPop. This is a palette I think my sister got me last year for Christmas. I am so blessed with two of the greatest sisters in the entire world who spoil me rotten. I'm the baby of the family, and you would think that they would be jealous or, you know, just, I don't know, have sibling rivalry, but there never was. They've always just treated me like I was their little baby, and they've spoiled me rotten. So a lot of times I'll be like, well, my sister bought me this, or my sister did. It's because they're the greatest in the entire world. You cannot beat good family. And I have the best. Okay, moving on. So coming back to this, I'm going to just use this palette and have fun today, because sometimes I just need a little fun in my life. And so I'm going to pick up some Jaclyn Hill's brushes. Mainly, those are the main brushes for my eyes that I use. I really think her and Morphe hit it out of the ballpark when she came out with her brush line. So those will be the brushes that I'm going to grab real quick. And if I don't use her brushes, it'll probably just be Morphe brushes. That's mainly what I got. Okay, so I'm going to pick up my JH32 brush right here. You know, most people have to hold their hand up to show you the brush. I got such a fair complexion, I really don't have to do that. Okay, I'm gonna go kind of with warmth so that I can top it with cool. I'm gonna pick up this color. It is 19K3, and let's see what it does for us. So I'm starting with the stamping motion because I just want to stamp it at first. Just stamp. And I'm going to do the other side too. And as my skin kind of warms that color up and starts absorbing it, then we will go and start doing some windshield wiper motions. Now, a lot of people try really hard not to get any kind of fallout. I don't worry about it because I have so much powder on my face, I can easily brush it out or brush it off. So I'm not gonna worry about it. Once again, stamping, and then I start doing my windshield wiper motions. I think I'm going to do some layering today and then finish it off with either a shimmer color or some glitter. I did glitter yesterday in my photo. If you follow me on my Facebook page, Makeup to Glow By, and it just turned out really pretty, and it made me feel really good. You know, like I love when you can do a makeup look and have it just give you that extra little bit of confidence. My husband and I are looking at purchasing a B&B. We met with the lender yesterday, so it was very helpful to just feel a little oomph in your step. However, I will say it rained like cats and dogs, and so it was like, oh, don't mess up my makeup. All right, so patting, stippling, and swishing like the windshield wipers is what I do, and then at the end I'll start doing circular motions. But I'm just trying to do a transition color, get it laid down. Nothing too major. Okay. Now I'm going to do another layer. Probably should wash my brushes. This is JH31. I think I'm going to pick up this nice warm color here, 19K1. And I'm going to just layer right over what we had just laid down. But this brush is just a hair smaller, so it's going to let that first transition shade shine through. It's not going to completely cover it up. We're going to have some nice layers. Okay. And I'm going to come over here, stamp it, and then start swishing it. And one thing that is helpful is how you hold your brush. If you're here, you know, like you're trying to write a pencil, you're going to put a lot more pressure on your face. The funny thing is you think you would have more control, but you really don't. So if you get here towards the end and hold your brush, you can do exactly what you want to do. You can kind of apply it exactly where you want it to go. Okay. I'm going to go back over this. I'm not picking up any more product. I'm just going to help blend those in. We want a seamless transition. So if any of you out there have any ideas what could be going on with my Facebook page, why I am not able to go live, it just keeps breaking up, please let me know. I mean, is it because I have Bluetooth on, Wi-Fi on? Do I need to turn it off? I mean, I don't know why. Why I've fiddled with it, and I can't get it to work. It's just not my thing. Okay, this one has a little bit of shimmer in it. It's probably a satin. It is called Martian 19I1. And I love the warmth. It kind of matches my shirt. My earrings, kind of what I'm going for. So I'm going to add that as a third color. And I'm using JH34. I think I already said that. And once again, it's a little smaller than the first two. So it's laying the color down but not completely covering them up. So same motions. We start in with the stippling, and then we go into windshield wiper motions, and then into circulars. Gee Louise. Okay. 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 Checking in my mirror. It's funny how, you know, you need something up close and then you have to back away and look at it. You need that both of those looks. All right, now I'm going to pick up JH35. It's not as round. It has right here, it has a little flatness to it. So it's going to give a different look, a different purpose. And I'm going to pick up feathered, 19K1, for some depth right there at the corner. That's what I would like. This is some depth. And I'm just I cannot say that word. Stippling. I want to say stipulating. Crazy. I am so glad that y'all have a little bit of charity and overlook some of my craziness. Okay. So we're just adding a little bit of warmth. With my mouth open. I don't get it. Why we always have to keep our mouths open when we're doing something like this. So I hope y'all are all feeling good. I hope you and your family have not been impacted by COVID. If you have been, I sincerely hope that you, if you're currently ill with it, you get well quickly. And if you have suffered loss, my heart goes out to you, and I am truly sorry for your loss. Okay, there we go. Now, what I think I want to do, I think I'm going to add some, I think I want to add this Antimatter 19K2 to the center. And then Tiki 19K1 to the inner corner. Maybe. Well, let's try it. Okay, so I'm not sure how I want to apply this. So this is just a fantastic flat head brush. As you can see, it's from mascara, so I may need it. So I'm just pulling it out. I don't know what I'm going to use yet. I may just use my finger. I may have to grab some MAC Fix Plus to help deepen the color. I don't know. So I'm going to start with my finger and see if that works. I'm just going to add it to the center. And we're doing that Antimatter, that blue color. I think I'm going to want it deeper, but we'll see. I'm going to blend it into that brown color there at the end. Doesn't seem to be grabbing. Let me... So what I'm going to do is just spray this. I spray it on the lid of the palette, and then I can pick it up with with the flathead brush. So I'm going to dip that in, and then dip it into that color, and then apply it. Just kind of like stamp it on. I'm not trying to get a carved out crease here or anything. I may end up, just because that may be what looks the best, but it's not the goal. I'm not going to worry too much like getting it at the lash line, because in just half a second I will be putting an eyeliner on. Okay, so now let's pull some over here. So yesterday I got some comments on the lashes and that everybody really loved them. So I'll probably apply those same lashes, and you can get them on Amazon. I think they're called 5D lashes. Okay. There we go. I want that a little deeper right here. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to put that yellow. I'm going to just flip my brush over and I'm going to try to pick up that yellow and see if that looks anything like I was wanting it to. I'll just blend that in. I may need to do another transition. Okay, I'm gonna pull that down right here at the corner. Just the hair. Okay. Yeah, I think I want to do a little transition. I'm going to use the same color because I want the transition color. And I'm going to pick up this nice Sidetracked. It's got a little, do you see that little shimmer in it? I'm going to pick that up. And I'm going to merge those two. Okay. Yes, I think so. I think so. Now I'm going to merge that there. There. Flipping back over into that blue color. I think I didn't get my crease very good. Just want to make sure I get that crease really good. Okay. Now I want to go back. I'm going to get this little, I think this is a benefit. Nope, it's an NB022 Nikia. And I'm just going to stamp it just a little bit, get some warmth into it. Some deep warmth. It's a good, this is a good little smudge brush. And it's broke. I need to glue it back. It's a good brush. Okay. Let's make sure that we're all even on both sides. I'm kind of drawing a little line, and then I'm gonna kind of straighten that up with the, just kind of want to get that. Now let's use this one. We'll use a JH333. There. And I'll just kind of soften it. I may need to do this one a little deeper. Okay. And we'll just soften that up. I think so. I think I like that. Okay, now let's go for the under eyes. I'm going to keep this because I probably want to mimic what I got going on. But I'm going to pick up my Morphe M432 eyeliner brush. And I'm going to start back with that dark brown that I have on the corners of my eye. And I'm going to bring it in about halfway. Then I'm going to go back into my Seint brush and go back into that blue color. And finish that. I may need to pick up a little bit more Max Fix. I just want a really nice blue line. Well, it's not giving me the color deposit I'm wanting. Okay, that one did. I'm trying not to get into that yellow that I've already put down there. Alright, now that's what we're talking about. Okay. Then I'm going to go back to my little smudge brush. I cannot read that. My sister, once again, a sister, got me a makeup eraser. And it was yellow and the writing was white. I'm telling you, I could not read it to save my life. I'm like, why did they do that? Somebody failed in, what is it called? Product control, customer, I don't know what it's called. Okay, I'm going to pick up, that kind of burnt orange Martian. I'm going to pick this color up. And I'm going to smudge out my under eyes with that. I think I'm going to want to go back in with a deeper application of the brown. Okay. It's in my hand. Okay, I'm going to go back into the brown and get a little deeper and a little deeper. There we go. Okay, now for my last and final application on the bottom. I'm going to go in and get a JH39 and I'm going to pick up that yellow color. And I'm just going to smoke that out. Almost kind of looks like a sunset, and I'm okay with that. And I'm going to kind of like bring it on up here so that it can be under there. I feel like my lighting is not good. Oh well, light will go on. Okay, so I'm deepening that yellow color up. Okay. Now at this juncture in life, I was putting things up. At this juncture in life, I'm going to go ahead and brush off all of that fallout, because I think for the most part we're done with that. There we go. Now, my eyeliner. I'm going to use Thrive Cosmetics Lauren. I love this eyeliner. It's so creamy and it stays in place. So I'm putting it on my waterline. Wow. What a big difference. Okay. And I'm bringing it all the way in. I wanted to smudge that out a little bit more. Okay. Now I'm going to also put some up on this waterline. Okay. This helps if you wear false lashes. It helps to help hide the difference between your lashes and the false line. Love this. This is probably my most favorite mascara eyeliner I've ever used. Love, 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 love it. Okay. Now that that's all said and done, I'm going to coat my lashes a little bit so to prep them for putting on eyelashes. I'm going to use L'Oreal Telescopic. The reason I like this is the wand. See how little that wand is? I can get up there to my lash line without making a mess for the most part, on most days. I see something that needs some help. Okay. And then I'm going to do this same side. Ooh. Okay, you might not see it, but I just put some mascara on my face, which what I'm gonna do is I will wait for that to dry and then I'll just scrape it off, and then it doesn't mess up my makeup. Okay. Then I'm gonna use the Thrive mascara. It's called the Liquid Lash Extension. And I'm going to put some of that on. And then this will help, number one, when you're placing your lashes on, it helps to hold them on, but also to blend your lashes in to the others. To the false lashes. Can I say hello? This mascara is so good. It is becoming one of my new favoritist. Just look at the difference. Look at the difference. I know I'm looking down and it's like, well, I can't tell. I gotta look up. I'm being a little messy. I don't get it. Okay. Now I should put some on the bottom. There we go. Hello. Okay. Now, as that kind of dries, I want to go back and I want to do some blending up here. I saw some areas that needed a little bit more blending. This is why it's important to have like multiple views of yourself. Not just, you know, a mirror like here that you're looking at, but one that you can step back and look at versus just sitting there, you know, seeing. Just, it's almost like having one-dimension view of yourself. So I'm just kind of like blending some of this out. I don't want really, I'm not looking for a harsh line. I'm not looking for that carved out look. So just gonna kind of blend it in. And we're giving our lashes time to dry. I'm gonna pick up some more of this orange color just to help blend on the edges. And I'm not being harsh or anything. I'm just softly, gently going back and forth. And it's not like I wanted anything major, just didn't want it to be harsh. Do y'all ever notice how makeup is a journey? You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be you. In fact, I think when we try to make it perfect, we lose the funness out of it. I'm gonna bring this a little bit further down. Okay. And I also like makeup that doesn't look like everybody else's. You know, sometimes I think we start looking alike, and, you know, though people may be pretty, we need to kind of stay true to who we are. Okay, so I brushed that just off. Have a little spot right there that's brushed off. Now next, I want to do my lashes. So you can pick these lashes up on Amazon, as I said. They're the 5D Magic Eyelashes and Eyeliner. So they are all pretty awesome. You have, and pardon all the clippies, because I have clipped them. But you have multiple choices. These are my favorite. I like that cat eye, you know, where we start small and flare out look. Here's your little eyeliner that keeps them hooked on there. So I'm gonna shake it up a little bit and then I'll apply it. So what is neat is that you can make you whatever kind of eyeliner look you want. My lashes were not dry, so they're all clumping together. That's all right, we can fix that. I think I will do a little bit of a wing, not like a major wing, just a hint of one. Okay. brush my lashes back out to looking semi-normal. There we go. Okay. And let me stick those on. They do come with tweezers that are, or whatever you want to call them, that are made for the lashes, but I just like mine. Just don't follow what I do, because I know that that's not safe. So disclaimer, do not do what I do. Just because I did it don't mean you should do it. Okay. All right, now let's do the other side. Thought I had given my mascara time to dry. All right, we're doing a pretty thick line. Just because it's New Year's Day, we want to be a little more celebratory than we normally are. It's a special day. Get down in there. And like I said, a little bit of a wing. I feel like my wings match. I really don't. I feel like one is way lower than the other. Hello. Okay. Okay. Then we will take our other lash and stick it on. It is really that simple. Okay. Bam. Okay, now let's do our blush and get everything else done and ready. All right, I'm going to just use Ulta Beauty, their little palette. I think I will do this color. It is called Tulip. And I'm going to just use a Morphe blush brush. So I like to get, like, swirl it on and then go to the lid and kind of swirl it, because for some reason it kind of goes on better it's not so choppy. Okay. We'll do the other side the same way. And I'm really being gentle, y'all. I am not pulling the skin. Or not, you know, harshly pulling the skin. I'm trying to make sure it's even looking. It's not a race. Okay. Then I am going to apply just a little bit of highlight on from Revolution. Such a good company. Such a good company. I'm going to go with this golden color here. And it's just the hair. I mean, I'm not one that I don't, you know, try to over highlight. Or at least I don't think I do. It's just a little bit. Maybe a little bit more over here. Okay, then definitely got to get the tip of that nose. And pick up some and do the lip. Gotta have that milk mustache thing going on. Got to. A little bit on the forehead. And then a little bit on the chin. There we go. Okay, I said somebody who doesn't over highlight, and here I'm like slapping it on. Layers upon layers upon layers. Do you ever notice how eyelashes just make the look? It just does. It just does. Okay, next, let's go for the lipstick. I love Maybelline Super Stay Matte Ink. Number one, it's just such a beautiful color. First of all. And number two, it stays all day. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I like it. I like how it applies. I like how it looks. I just like it. Now I like to really get in there and line my lips. Okay, now, are we done? No. I like to add a little bit of an ombre effect. And LA Girl, this real pretty pink. It's such a pretty color. I like to just add it in the middle. It's kind of like a rose petal. Now, I think we're done. Oops. Okay. One thing I want to do before I go, well, actually two things I want to do before I go, is I want to add more depth right there. So I'm going to take that same Morphe brush that I did my nose with. I'm going to get the tip. I'm just going to kind of dip it in. And I just want to put it there just a little. It's not going to add a whole lot. Just like a little tiny shadow. There we go. And last, but definitely not least, I'm going to get my bronzer. This is an Estee Lauder. I believe it was a limited edition. So they may not have it anymore. I know when I went to go get some more, it was a limited edition. So they may not have it. But if they do have it, it is 03 Mirage. I like to just... And y'all, I love this because it smells so stinking good. I mean, it just has a fresh scent. Put it everywhere because it smells so good. Alrighty. Well, there we go. What do you think? Yes? No? Maybe so? Okay. Okay. Well, I sincerely wish each of you such a marvelous New Year's. I hope it is way better than last year. God bless each one of you. Thank you for spending almost 2 hours with me today. But I hope you had fun. So I will see y'all soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.